What's going on, guys? Anteiku here, and today I want to talk about the newest installment in the Monster Hunter series, Monster Hunter Rise, coming to the Nintendo Switch in March of 2021 and what we know so far. But before we begin, please be sure and give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button and click the bell so that you can be notified each and every time that I upload a brand new video. With the explosive success of Monster Hunter World / Iceborne, just about everyone was wondering when and where the next Monster Hunter title would land. Back in the summer, Capcom announced Monster Hunter Rise for the Nintendo Switch. To most of us, I don't think this came as a surprise that the next installment in the series would land on the Nintendo Switch versus being on yet again the PlayStation or the Xbox. For many of us, World put Monster Hunter on the map and drew in such a huge fan base and helped grow the Monster Hunter community more so than any other title. After setting the bar so high, I often heard people say they really didn't want to see another title go back to Nintendo after seeing the level of graphics World offered in the series. I will admit that I was one of those people who didn't want Capcom to take one giant leap forward, only to take several steps back in terms of the graphics or designs of the games. However, after seeing the trailers, seeing the in-game footage, and the display of how the new weapons will work in the game, I have to say I am simply amazed and truly captivated by it. While little is still known about all the details of the game, such as quality of life choices we will have in Rise versus what we had in World, the game itself is still shaping up to be quite a treat. I dare say that Capcom took the best of old school Monster Hunter and fused it with Monster Hunter World and gave us Rise. Not only are the actions very fluid and the environments gorgeous that it still feels almost real, but never truly loses sight of it being a fantasy world. You really can appreciate all the developers put into Rise. So what I'm simply trying to say is that I am now a believer in this next installment of this beloved franchise. I truly love the vibe that the game gives off. It's almost a feudal Japan feel with Monster Hunter characters all nicely packaged together. The Komura village base reminds me a lot of Yukumo Village and Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate. Komura looks like a really gorgeous area to spend our time chilling with our friends, preparing for our next hunt, and just kind of taking in the game. With every new installment, Capcom has always thrown new monsters our way, and in this next installment, they have not disappointed with the latest flagship monster, Magnamallow, who resembles a dragon in ancient Japan fused with, in my opinion, a Zenogre, which kind of makes sense as Magnamallow is in fact a fanged wyvern. I do think that is pretty cool that, he's this big beefy dragon, and he's cool enough, in my opinion, to take up the mantle left by World's flagship monster, Nergigante. For those who don't know, World was my first official Monster Hunter game, and Nergigante quickly became easily one of my most favorite monsters to date, even among the other flagship monsters. Magnamallow does have the look and feel of a truly epic and menacing monster that I really cannot wait to start hunting, and I really do look forward to seeing what weapons, armor, and the lure that this creature has to offer in Monster Hunter Rise. Moving on, we also see other new monsters such as Somnicath, who falls into the Leviathan category of monsters, who has this gorgeous color scheme of green and purples to match his deadly capabilities. This monster seems to be right now a favorite among other players across social medias at the moment, and I'm really sure that this monster is not going to disappoint when we actually can sink our teeth into this game. We also get a new bird wyvern and the great Azuchi, as well as Eknosum, and I apologize if I pronounced that wrong, who looks like it will be simply a hell of a fun fight, as it has this way of spreading the crest around its head open like a raptor. And I get quite the raptor feel from this monster, which is, kind of awesome since it is a bird wyvern. And we saw Kuliaku from World, who also reminded me of a raptor trapped in like a chicken's body, which is why when I played World, I always nicknamed him the stupid chicken raptor, because that's what he reminded me of. But anyway, moving on. Next up, what we have on the list is Tetranodon, or Tetranodon. I cannot pronounce that right now, I apologize. He is a bulky reptile type monster which seems to swell up after he eats, almost like a balloon form, to create, you know, more deadly power moves like slams and rolls, and it looks like he can even like kind of dive bomb you a little bit. But despite this slowing him down, it does increase his strength, so he's trading mobility for strength. I do believe that this monster will serve as an early game creature to help get us comfortable with hunting in the game. This next one I can't forget to mention because I think he's just simply awesome, is Bishatin. This creature reminds me of a baboon fused with a bird wyvern that has this unique tail that resembles a giant monkey palm. And even cooler is the fact that it can sling fruit from its pouch as projectiles at the hunter. I think overall the design of this creature is actually pretty exotic, and I can't wait to hunt him. But we also see the return of some familiar monsters from World and other games, such as Puke Puke, Tobakitachi, and of course Anjanath, as well as the series' iconic flagship monster Rathalos and its female counterpart Rathian. And one I am happy to finally get to fight in this game is going to be the Royal Ludroth and Ozeros. There have been rumors that I cannot confirm of one of the Fated Four's iconic monsters, Mizune, making an appearance. This makes sense to me as they have the Leviathan skeleton already in the game with Ludroth and Samnakath. I'm secretly hoping we get the rest of the Fated Four, as this was a big hope of mine back in World when they revealed Glavenus for Iceborne. As much as I would have liked to see a World treatment of Gammoth, Mizune, and Astalos, I would be perfectly fine seeing them return in Rise. So if the rumors are true, this makes me even more excited for the game, because it will truly have that new Monster Hunter fused with old Monster Hunter vibe, as we see old and new monsters come together to form an even more epic roster for us to hunt. Next up, I would like to talk about the armor. While we haven't seen clear-cut footage of what all the armors look like fully, we have seen a few sets here and there, as well as the beginning armor from Kimura Village that we start off with in the story. But from what we can expect to see, they are not only very detailed for a Nintendo title, but colorful and true to their monster counterparts, it seems. I really like the fact that they paid so close attention to the detail, but did not skip on the fantasy vibe and feel of the armors and weapons this time around. You know, we have seen glimpses of the Rathian and Rathalos armors, as well as what looks to be the Tetranodon armor, which I'm kind of digging on, as is this hulking military style suit. And I do believe the armor we see in the longsword footage is indeed Magnamalus's armor, because if it is, I will be one happy camper or hunter. And that armor just looks freaking amazing, and I cannot wait to get my hands on it. We will be interacting with characters such as Fugen, the elder of the village, who seems to be filling the role of the commander from World. It is said that he is one of the greatest hunters, and funny enough, he does use a longsword similar to that of the huntsman that we saw in Monster Hunter World. And I mean, is it me, or does this guy kind of remind you of a mixture between the third Hokage and Jiraiya from Naruto? Maybe that's just me. Also, it seems we will be trading out the handler for Hanoa, the quest maiden that we see quite a few shots of in the trailers. And again, I reference World with this chick because she likes to eat, similar to what we saw with the handler. We also catch a few shots of our blacksmith Haman, who will be smashing away at our epic weapons and armors, as well as our new chef Yomogi, which I am sad to see our Palicos not preparing our extravagant meals this time around. I would like to mention real fast that I think it's awesome that the merchant is named Kagero, because I'm a huge Cardfight Vanguard fan, and this is the name of actually one of my favorite clans in that game. Kagero is a mysterious yet friendly character that we will be purchasing goods from. Going into Rise, we see a wide variety of cool and unique weapons true to the monsters they are crafted from. We saw in World how the weapons did not always get the treatment they deserved, and this left us, the fans, questioning why. Just why? So from what I have seen in the videos, it looks as though they did learn their lesson and won't go down that same rabbit hole but I mean, time will tell. Looking at the weapons so far, it doesn't seem like we are getting anything new to the weapons roster that we haven't already seen before. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. As of this week, Capcom has been releasing short videos on their YouTube channel, which I will post a link down below. So far, we have seen the hammer, shield and sword, longsword, dual blades, bow, lance, light bow gun, and heavy bow gun. And I am looking forward to the charge blade and switch axe. We have seen some footage of the greatsword, which I'm also looking forward to, but we're still waiting on the official videos to be released. With the new wire bug, it looks like our weapons can make use of a new moves called silk bind moves, which each weapon can utilize in order to create some truly devastating moves to overcome our targets on the hunt. So far, all the footage we have seen in the short videos has been nothing short of amazing. And speaking of the wire bug, as I mentioned earlier, this new gizmo will allow us to swing and climb just like Spider-Man in New York as we travel through the environment and scale like the highest mountains in true Monster Hunter fashion. But the wire bug also combos, like I said, with our weapons, making for some amazing and juicy actions that make it a truly flashy sight to behold. I am hoping we don't see anything like we did in World with the clutch claw, where it punished you for not using the clutch claw. Like, I really hope this is something that is given to us to add to our arsenal, but not something that becomes a punishment on the player for not using if they so desire. Not only are we getting new monsters, but a new event or siege type, and I really hate to, call it or hesitate to call it a siege because it really isn't necessarily a siege, but an event called Rampage, where it looks like we may be taking on not one, not two, but multiple monsters attacking our village base of Kimura. And in the footage, we can see not only the hunter, but the villagers preparing for whatever onslaught is about to take place. It is said that the village was almost wiped out 50 years ago during the last rampage. Also, that the village had been attacked multiple times, leading us to believe this is indeed some kind of recurring catastrophe. The details are not clear about what Rampage truly is, but it was said that this will be something new that they have developed for Rise. I, for one, am truly looking forward to this and all that it has to offer. One cool feature I am happy to announce is the mount ability we have with our dog companions, the Palamutes. While on a hunt, we can ride these just like we did, or we were able to, have the Raider rides in Monster Hunter World. I point this out because now we can travel faster from place to place, and what really made me happy was seeing the hunter being able to actually heal or eat and sharpen their weapon while mounted on the Palamutes. I did finally find footage of a hunter healing while in combat, and I'm pointing this out because that is a huge relief for me, as I was scared that they would go back to old school ways of, the hunter standing still to heal versus being able to stay mobile like we were in World. That was the quality of life feature that I don't want to see go away. Nothing really frustrated me more in Ultimate than having to heal and stand there while the monster proceeded to have its way with me and just beat me in the face. I was just not a fan of that. And honestly, it made no sense to me why they even, implemented that in the older titles. Another cool addition is our little old owl friends, the Kahoot. Some are speculating that this might be the new Poogie, but if I'm not mistaken, I believe we have always had a Poogie in the previous titles in the series, so I don't necessarily believe this will replace the Poog. Kahoots are cool in the fact that not only can we dress them up, we can also use these guys to help our hunters track the monsters out in the world. Also true to the Monster Hunter series, Rise sees the return of our feline friends, the Palicos. So hunters will have the option to take, 2 Palicos into a hunt, or 2 Palamutes, or mix it up and take 1 Palamute and 1 Palico. I think this would be really awesome to see our hunters going out on the hunt with their animal companions to back them up, when we're facing, any type of threat out in the field. Up next is the multiplayer system. This time, players won't be confined to a single hub like we were in Monster Hunter World. This time, hunters will be able to party up in groups of 2 or more, up to 4. So I don't want to say or more and just leave it like standing, because it is up to 4 to max, of other hunters or other party members. You can run around together throughout the village. I do like this implementation, as this really makes it feel more co-op friendly and like you truly are in the same world as each other. It also felt, kind of weird to me that in Monster Hunter World, I could be in the hub area with other players, but as soon as I left to go do something else, in Siliana or somewhere, that suddenly I was, all alone again. So the fact that devs addressed this detail is very, very refreshing. With all the amazing new features, from companions to the wire bug, new monsters, a brand new village base, and just a whole new world to explore, Rise is looking to capitalize on the success of its predecessor, Monster Hunter World, and show that the Nintendo Switch was indeed a smart choice for the next title of the Monster Hunter series. Don't forget, Monster Hunter Rise comes out on March 26, 2021, as well as the demo that you can play for free on January 2nd, 2021. Be sure, if you haven't already, and lock in your pre-orders for the special pre-order items and gear. I have already pre-ordered my copy this week, and I cannot wait to get my hands on the demo next month. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you would like to see more Monster Hunter content, then please give this video a thumbs up, drop some comments down below, and let me know your thoughts and opinions on Monster Hunter Rise and what you are most excited for going into this new game. And don't forget to please smash that subscribe button to help us grow the Anteiku family. If you like, you can catch me on Twitch, where I stream throughout the week. Also, you can catch me on Instagram and Twitter. I'll leave those links down below. So for now, here's some more Monster Hunter Rise footage for you guys to enjoy. And until next time, guys, stay strong, stay healthy, and happy gaming.